let it ride. Yeah, adoption pod.
Mick and Mike, yeah, they on the air. Breaking walls with that crypto flair. Deep dives roll, yeah, minds aware. Good vibes float everywhere. Tapping now, yeah, the stream go live. Big ideas, feel the energy rise. If you here right now, then you ride on time. Welcome to the future, enjoy the ride. Hands up, yeah, let it low. Sound check, let the people low. Check, yeah, feel the vibe, let the beat unfold. When it drops, yeah, the story told. Adoption pod, yeah, here we go. Crypto flows, let the knowledge grow. Breaking chains, watch the future glow. Adoption pod, they run the show. Let's go. Yeah, da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, pioneers with minds so bright, lighting paths in the crypto night. Questions fly, answers ignite, changing lives left and right. From the blocks to the blockchain age, real talk when they hit that stage. If you're learning something, then mission complete. Mass adoption start with a seed. Adoption pod, yeah, here we go. Crypto flows, let the knowledge grow. Breaking chains, watch the future glow. Adoption pod, they run the show. Blocks are building, truth reveals. Digital world, a brighter field. Yeah, masses learning, wounds are healed. This is the future, the deal is sealed. Locked in, adoption pod, yeah, here we go. Crypto flows, let the knowledge grow. Breaking chains, watch the future glow. Adoption pod, they run the show. Run it! Adoption pod. Adoption pod. Adoption pod.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Adoption Pod, episode 33. I was thinking about this today. We're on episode 33, and there's only 52 weeks in the year, so we've almost been doing this for a year, technically.
Dang.
Yeah, not even technically. That is 52 weeks is a year, so
we're getting close.
We're doing
and I can't
things.
wait to make our grand debut together at the Bitcoin conference.
Welcome to the dark side.
Doing some live
or the
shows.
best side.
Yeah, I know. I got my Bitcoin propaganda hat.
I know. I like that. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was from Van Eck. They're very sweet.
Yeah, apparently there's going to be some other, VDEX community members going, so that's going to be nice. Maybe a little mini VDEX meeting. Alex said he's going to be there.
What?
So maybe we can entice others to join us as well while we're there.
Oh, we'll have a whole. Well, let's do a side event.
Hell yeah! Let's definitely let's at least go out and hit up the after parties with that.
I do love to bite off more than I can chew, and and then stress myself out to no end trying to get everything done that I say I'll do. So yeah, maybe we'll meet up. That's a good idea.
Absolutely, it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. The Bitcoin conference is always really, really good. I very much enjoyed it last time, and you get to meet. Everyone's there, and like all the YouTubers, all the influencers, like everyone's there, right? So it's kind of nice to network and meet a lot of people. Did a bunch of interviews last time I was there, so
that's awesome.
definitely
I'm very excited.
Wow, we walk, can't wait. All right, so today we got a special guest. We go Joe on Chain here. I see he's another VDEX community member, another trader. So
he's actually BD for us too. Recently, he's our latest BD.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so yeah, we'll definitely get him on and get his opinion and all that. See how his trade's going, because today was a wild day in the markets. Like the market opened up and chose violence. So let's bring on Joe and see how he's doing today. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. No worries, man. How was did you trade today? Did you get that market open?
So I didn't. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Thank God. I'm not much of a trader. I'm more of a fine conviction hold and then either swing trade or, just ride things out. But I'm sort of tapped into the community. So, it's inevitable to hear all the price action, everything that's going on. So sometimes no trade's the best trade. That's usually where I'm at.
Honestly,
That's always where I'm at.
that's a big lesson that people, a lot of people need to learn, to be honest, because that is the best. Because when the market's crazy and you don't know what's going on, sit it out. Sit out until you find something.
When in doubt, sit it out.
Absolutely.
We'll roll with that. Yeah, I'll write that somewhere.
I know. I was like, I'm gonna tweet that.
The market opened today. Like, I was in a trade before market open, a nice falling wedge, broke up to the upside. I was in profit. And the fucking market opened, and let me tell you, it just chose violence. I've never seen such a big 15-minute candle to the downside.
What about oil? Are you watching oil too?
I didn't see oil today because I was too busy with Bitcoin.
It tanked.
It tanked, and then what happened was, I'm like, this can't go much lower. The candle was like a minute before that 15-minute candle closed. I'm like, you know what? I full ported the portfolio, 50x leverage, $250,000 position. I got a long in. I'm like, I just need a wick. Just give me a wick. It gave me the wick. Boom, $300. Let's go. I was done trading for the day. I made my quota. I actually got another trade in earlier because we continued to go up. So I got a little bit of the move up too. But it was wild. But yeah, like my heart was pounding after that. I'm like, bro, I was sitting at work and told the guys, like, I just made a whole day's worth of work.
Well, Joe, tell us about what do you do on chain if you're sitting on the sidelines like me when it comes to trading right now? Because to quote the girl from excuse my French, but we're sitting it out, right? We're making the responsible adult decision, knowing our own limitations. So what do you do on chain? I'd love to hear how you got into the space, and you have your own show too, and you're quite the popular podcaster. So love mixing audiences and meeting new podcasters in the space and kind of, cross-pollinating audiences and hearing what and how other people are doing it. So would love to get to know you a little better.
Hell yeah. And again, thank you guys for having me on the show. It's always great, like you said, to meet other creators, and we're all kind of, working together. The more successful each of us is, the more people are going to find each of our channels and sort of snowball, this also. It's really great to get to collab with you guys, like I said. But in terms of how I'm personally playing the market right now, so obviously things are down. And I'm full-time crypto, I'm full-time Web3. So for me, it's not like, Bitcoin is down 50%. It's me, my rent is up, 100%, it's really what's going on. So for me, it's about, just eliminating as much of my costs as possible, like in my personal life, whatever subscriptions or I had going on in the background, just reducing those as much as possible, and then generating cash flow. So, trying to either start a business that is generating revenue regardless of whatever's going on in the crypto space. And, for us as, content creators or, whatever we want to call ourselves these days, whatever label they put us on us these days, just trying to figure out that deal flow at the end of the day. Yeah. And so, I've been very lucky to get in positions to know a couple of different founders, and there's always people building in the space. So right now, my goal is just kind of meet as many different builders and founders in the space, connect them, and then usually there's ways of making money in between type of thing. So yeah. So that's pretty much
real, basically, is what you're trying to say.
The struggle is real, but also like it's all about deal flow. Like no matter what is going on, there are builders in the space. There are people looking to spend money. There are people looking, to take advantage of an opportunity. So it's just a matter of us putting ourselves in that position to, make those opportunities happen for other people and for ourselves.
The people that are actively hiring in a bear market are the ones that are really serious about being here in the future, in my opinion, because the people that are spending money because they know this is where you build. It's kind of like when you're investing in crypto, you put your portfolio together in the bear market, and then, in the bull market, you take your profits and, you rinse and repeat. And it's kind of like, you're building a project here, and, you're getting people on your team, and you're building, quietly in the bear market when, the hype is kind of died down. It's all the noise is gone. You're just building. And then, you reap the rewards come the bull market when the hype is back. And then, and then you get more users, and you can build a product that works, right? Because I believe in the future in crypto, like ongoing, if you don't have a product that works, like this speculation thing is going to be done. There's too many coins out there. There's too much dilution that unless you have a product that's actually working, no one's going to invest.
Barrier to entry is like 2 inches above the floor.
Yeah, well, especially now
very
with
hard.
AI, right? Like AI agents will be able to make like launch a coin for you. It's like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a swarm of coins. Like you think like pump fund was bad. Imagine what the next 5 years are gonna look like.
Yeah,
Right.
I really think to your point, you know, the next 5 years, 10 years is going to be all about hiding the wires for companies. You know, if we want to actually scale and have mass adoption, you know, whatever that looks like for us, it's really just hiding the wires because nobody gives a shit about the technology at the end of the day. The user just wants a product that works and is going to benefit them. And I think the sooner that all of us, you know, founders or people building the space realize that, like, stop, you know, I love the nerd talk. I'm here for it. You know, we have podcasts for it, but like the sooner we stop, you know, NFTs, you know, like, you know, using all the jargon that's cringe to most people, you know, the sooner I think that we'll
100%.
see, you know,
It's like
our
Steve
total.
Jobs and his iPhone or iPod moment, right? Like he didn't talk to us
Exactly.
about all the underlying technology. It was like 1,000 songs in your pocket.
I was
Exactly.
having dinner and I was watching TV, and there's like a little documentary about like the 50 companies that built, you know, America. And it was Phillips when he was in the 60s. He was talking about creating the cassette. So when he created the cassette, like you know, he brought it to the board and he said the sound quality is not good enough for music yet. The board says, who cares? Just put it out there. Because be about being first to market. And like that kind of reminds me of Ethereum, right? Like look at Ethereum. It wasn't fully like perfect yet, but they were the first ones out there. And because they had that boost, they're still like one of the second best, you know, cryptocurrency in terms of, you know, people, users and amount of developers on there, even though there are other L1s that I would argue may do the job a little bit better and cheaper, right? And faster.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, oh boy, we could have the whole L1 debate. But really, coming to what you were talking about before, with this impeding SaaS apocalypse, you know, as a lot of people are calling it, you can just
I love
ask
that.
AI vibe code me this website, copycat, you know, this, and then spit it out. So I really think that a lot of the moats, and then going back to my background and how on God's green earth I ended up doing a media company or something that's going on, is I really think that a moat for people in the future is just going to be attention, the amount of attention that you're going to garner. And that's why we see affiliate marketing, you know, really taking off so well in different types of marketing. It's because attention is gold. And especially if software, you know, the barrier to entry to create a business is lowering so much, your ability to get in front of people is just that much more important. So for me, I was originally a founder. I had built out a company, and in 2022 we were building on Solana. We had this launch pad that was coming out. I had this NFT, and we had a professional animator from Nickelodeon. We have all this art that's been done for years, and then everything sort of like crashed, obviously with Sam Bankman-Fried and all this stuff, and we had to figure out, you know, what are we going to do? And so we sort of pivoted, and instead of just building out this NFT, we made it into the launch pad, et cetera, et cetera. And, you know, long story short, throughout all of this happening, what I realized was that none of what I was really doing, like I'm putting so much time, so much energy into trying to build this product, but none of that matters because we don't really have the resources or the capital to compete with all these other launch pads. We need attention. And like that is really all that matters. So that's sort of when I started really doubling down. And after I got involved with a crypto, like a meme coin that I ended up really helping to promote and then got rugged. But through that, I learned like, oh my gosh, like I can really make something happen here. I can grow, you know, my own personal brand. I can grow other brands kind of thing. So that's when, you know, my own personal brand started growing a little bit more. I started hosting spaces and doing little things. And then after a while, it kind of got to be like, do I really want to be a personal brand and just myself, or do I want to try and build a business that I could then sell, you know, sometime in the future and have, you know, customers and, you know, this, you know, self-fulfilling thing that just runs on its own entity. So that's sort of what brought me into the media and running New Money Media. And then sort of now we have other people jumping on board and we're building there. So just a long way of saying, I think that attention is going to be so important in the future.
I think you're right. And it might be a little painful right now during the bear market for creators, but zoom out 5 years down the road, jobs are disappearing. Attention is the currency. Like that is the one value that you can bring as a human that AI can't. You know, I mean, there's some jobs that are largely more immune doctors and things like that, but they even have robotics doing surgeries, and somebody still has to oversee it. But right, it's getting further and further away from us. And I, for one, am very bullish on that future. We are streaming this to Facebook. I have a lot of friends and followers on there that are scared. And like I posted something about AI taking, I think 15,000 jobs were gone from Amazon, and then there was another 2,500 jobs gone from some hedge fund. But we're starting to see massive amounts of positions be shed from tech forward companies. And that's where it starts, right? It starts at the top. We're early adopters, but it's going to trickle down everywhere. So what are your thoughts on what the average, I guess, world citizen, how should they be feeling right now, and what should they be doing to prepare?
Mass panic.
Namaste. I'd say deep breaths. I think the world's collective conscious could use less anxiety. I think that honestly, the goal of a lot of these articles, just my personal take, a lot of this media is just to stress us out and to get our prefrontal cortexes, the thinking part of our brain, to shut down and to slow blood flow to certain parts of our body. And these are chronic diseases, and all this stuff. So I personally, think, yes, AI is something that we should be, thinking about. But I don't think that the average person should should think about it that much, like that it's stressing you out, honestly. Every few years, there's a new big thing that's going to displace, everything and everyone. If we just looked at crypto, 4 years ago, the metaverse was gonna change the whole world. Like everything's online. Like if you're not buying these crappy, metaverse plots of lands for, $10,000, what are you doing? You're not really an investor, So it's like there's a new thing that comes out. And I think AI, even the founders of AI, they knew, the investors, the original ones, knew that this technology for the masses wouldn't really be that crazy for like a few decades from now. Like it is definitely improving, but if you see like what the government has access to versus like what we have access to, like these models, like we're just so far, removed from, I think, where people think we're going to be and where they're trying to scare us into thinking we are. So, I mean, in terms of the everyday person, I think deep breaths, we have enough things to stress out about, your health, your family. That's what matters. Dude, at the end of the day.
AI is like, it kind of reminds me of, like think about back in the day, there was like a switch operator that you'd call the operator and they'd switch your calls, and then like technology disrupted that. Like back even further, there was entire buildings of people to do mathematical calculations. Now your phone has replaced an entire building of people. So like when you think about that, like that's just kind of what we're seeing with AI. Technology is deflationary, and technology is ultimately disruptive, right? Uber came in and disrupted the taxi ecosystem. Airbnb came in and destroyed the hotel industry, right? But it's like it's gonna happen regardless. So either there's two types of people. People bitch about it, or you learn how to use it, right? Like for me, like AI feels like when I grew up, and like the internet just had come out, it was new, and I was exploring, like everything was new. Every new thing that I did on the internet was a new thing. Like a place to download music or play music. Like every new app that came on the internet was like the first time. And this is kind of what it is like now that I'm playing with AI. It's like the first time, like making music. I like to make a lot of AI music, and like it's like exploring and just playing around, literally like fucking around and finding out, right? And like I built my own like AI machine here, and I was like all weekend I was just vibe coding, just trying to figure out what kind of things I can do. And it's amazing. It's like it's playing. You're just playing around. Like I'm not a genius when it comes to computers. I don't know how to code at all. None. I started Java for Dummies, and I got to like chapter 1. I'm like, bro, this is like too much. Like I don't have the time to put into this that it needs, right? But now it's like I don't need to.
Yeah.
Even Mick was showing me copy and paste. I have a problem. I don't know. Copy and paste. There we go.
Back and forth. I talked to somebody on our VDEX space earlier today that bought a $40 printer. It wasn't compatible with their Linux computer setup, so they just talked to Claude and said, hey, build me some firmware to connect this printer to Linux, and his printer is up and running. Like,
Now, yeah,
what?
that is crazy. That is crazy cool that we have that ability. Although I will say, like, these aren't totally revolutionary like things. Like, I think AI is really just going to help automate so many things that were already algorithmic and like systemic, or, you know, things that just had certain like Merkle branches already by default. But I don't think, you know, in the near term is going to be as revolutionary, you know, as we think. Now, AI plus robotics.
Yes.
Now, maybe, you know, we are a little more existential. Like, I'm a
Elon's
little
bots
more,
are going
you
to
know.
take over the real world,
So
not
Yeah.
just Twitter. They're coming for the real.
2027, Elon Musk is rolling out like the Optimus robots like crazy in 2027. They discontinued the Model S and the Model X, and they're using that space in the facilities to build Optimus robots. So 2027, you probably won't see them in the public, but like they'll be in what they call, China already has these called dark factories, where it's just robots working like 24/7. So you'll have production increase significantly across the board, and whoever buys Optimus robots from Tesla are going to be benefiting from that, like across whatever job, right?
My bad to jump in, but as an investor in Tesla for coming up on a decade now, which is freaking insane,
Okay.
I love hearing that. But 2027 means to me 2037. Whenever Elon Musk is 2050,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
sure.
true.
Let's pull a little number out of a hat. You know,
Yeah.
He's
sure.
That's
Why
what
notorious
not?
for
founders do, right? That's what we
Yeah.
have to do as founders
Exactly.
to get any traction. We have
Yep.
to say real things and then like be like, oh, but it's not going to be maybe exactly that early. A few minor technical detail we'll update later, and then we'll probably forget about it for 2 or 3 years. And just then all of a
But
sudden
it'll
we'll be like,
happen.
oh, whoa, they were working on this.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I feel confident it'll come on. I just had to take that little jab. You know,
Oh,
Yeah.
he's notorious for being wrong for timelines.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you're probably right, but yeah, that intersection between AI and robotics is going to be crazy. Like medical, like just the use cases are abundant. It's just crazy how much is going to change. And I even think about, like, you know, I just thought about this right now. They think about like old age care, like having an AI be able to help, your elderly mother or father get up or sit down or take care of, or even like, they had the bracelets, you fall down, but now you have a robot that can help you and see, like, call 911 at the same time that you're actually like visually being able to see what's going on and help. So really cool idea, like, of what they get. It's kind of, it's actually funny that is iRobot. Remember, iRobot is like the robots were there to help in the home.
Yeah, I do kind of. Is that the Will Smith movie?
Yeah. So those robots were supposed to be in home helping people, like cleaning dishes and all. If I never have to fold laundry again, I'm gonna be a very happy person. Like laundry, like when you have kids, man, laundry is endless. Like, God bless my wife. Like, she does a lot of the laundry for my daughter, and like it just like it never stops. Between the dishwasher for dishes and laundry, it's consistent. It's infinite. It just keeps going.
Try having 3 kids, Mike.
I know. I don't even know how you do it. Like, I don't know.
I don't either. They do chores. They do the laundry and the dishes. The 2 things that I hate doing the most. But I made a deal. I had my son fix my computer monitor today. And I said I'd do laundry in exchange. And then he literally just
There's a
moved
barter system going on
the cord
here.
from something to the graphics card. I was like, you're a scammer. Like, you are a natural born scam artist.
Rugged his mom.
Rugged his mom. And it's not the first time. He sold me the computer in the first place that's like not that great. And my brother was like, it's your mom, charge her $400. He's like, it's probably worth $200 if you sell it somewhere else. So my son tells me $400, and I'm like, oh, okay. Thinking
I don't know. RAM prices are up. RAM prices are up pretty big. You might actually come out ahead in this deal.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true. Valid. So what are you working on currently? What are you excited about? What do you want to bring attention to? The podcast, I'm sure. But brag about yourself a little bit. This is the platform to do it. Like, why should people follow Joe on Chain?
Yeah. First, I also didn't say my name is Joe D'Antoni. By the way, Joe and Chain, I gotta change that. I like that's
I think
just
it's cute.
it's cute. You know, it's all
I think that.
yeah, Joe D'Antoni, Joe and Chain, whatever you guys want to call me. But like I said, I've on the back burner for about 4 years. It was an NFT project. It was a company, and if you held these collectibles, I'd prefer to use the word digital collectible over NFT. If you held these digital collectibles and you got access to like travel, like health, wellness. We had like a partnership with Active and Fit, which if you live in the US, you get access to all of the gyms. That's like 24-hour fitness, Gold's Gym, LA Fitness, all of these
Wow.
gyms for like $30 a month. And nationwide access is like a program typically only for like insurance companies. And so we got all of these really cool partnerships lined up like years ago. And then the whole FTX thing happened. And then no one was even willing to mint a free NFT like on Solana or connect, their wallets to websites. So like I said, like that sort of turned into a launch pad, and we ended up, classic dev troubles, getting rugged here, new dev there. And so now we're kind of in the final stages. We have some teammates who are switching up, and we're sort of finalizing some new contracts, bringing some new people on. And so the company is called Kosha Creations. The launch pad is kosha.lol. It's for digital collectibles where you can customize them. And we'll also have music and other stuff there too.
Bitcoin ordinals, are you going to capture that market from Magic Eden?
Eventually, we're only doing Solana right now.
Okay.
It maybe Bitcoin ordinals. We definitely want to do like ordinals and actually like transcriptions and actually like inscriptions. I mean, actually inscribe things on the blockchain. But to be honest with you, again, it comes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like most people don't give a shit like about what blockchain we're using. Like honestly, I'm going after the billions of people on the planet Earth, like not the few small fraction of a percent that care about what blockchain we're doing something on, So our end goal is sort of like a combination of like Etsy meets Instagram meets Web3.
Ooh.
And we're just going to enable digital content creators to easily be able to sell their products, and nobody's going to know that it's blockchain. Ideally that's all going to be on the back end. But what I'm also, so that's been just such a long time coming. It was like my main thing. Then it's decided to go on the back burner because you got to actually like make money in this space, especially if you want to build something. So now in the meantime, I'm so fortunate. I'm so lucky to just get to know so many different founders and have some different deal flow going. And I have some meetings with some different VCs and, some different people like that. So now I've kind of worked my way into like almost a middleman kind of situation. Just like, oh, hey, you need someone that needs that. Like I know someone who does that.
Yeah.
And so, that's mostly what I'm building, just connecting people. So like literally anything people need in this space, whether like it's a professional animator that animated SpongeBob, like to do something, all the way to like a dev, to build Bitcoin, this or that, and then every VC's this, I'm very lucky to have been getting these connections. So that's kind of what I'm building. I have Kosha LOL, New Money Media is just been this funnel for us. And then myself is just like, I do some advising. I also host spaces and stuff like that on the side. So.
There's huge value in being a connector. My friend Malik and I call it social liquidity. So like,
oh yeah, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that.
So like we're the layer between the founders and then the people trying to get we're gatekeepers, if you will, too. I mean, you could call it that, but we keep the space connecting where it should connect and moving where it needs to move. So I think, there's not a real great way to compensate people for doing that now, but with AI and automation and all these things coming, I think we will be able to track and measure results and get overall scores or, some kind of pay scales worked in. I think that's going to be one of the most valuable positions, period, is being a people connector.
Yeah, and back to what we were talking about earlier with like AI and authenticity, in the future, this is going to be one of the most, again, just valuable assets is you and your network. And from a business perspective, why would anybody reach out to Joe Schmo, host Twitter spaces, whatever. But, they really benefit from our experience, all of us being in the trenches. I didn't go through all of my crypto, experiences 2017 to now, but, they could save lots of time, lots of money from all that we've learned on X, losing lots of our time, lots of our money, That's totally benefit anybody who's in this space listening to this, no matter how small or large, your following is. You have certain things that differentiates you. You have experiences, good, bad, ugly, that are going to help save other businesses in the future, and they will pay you, to save them multiples on time, money, whatever else down the line. So definitely not something I thought I'd really be doing, but I'm very lucky to be able to connect people, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you said. For me, by trade, I'm a mechanic, right? And I can maybe do a job really quick, but the hourly rate is what it is, right? And you're paying for me for the experience. It's not it's not the speed of how fast I did the job. It's all the years that it took me to get to that speed, right? So
Yeah.
Totally.
it's the same way for you. Your network is the value. You have a huge network, and be able to connect people is the value that you bring. And especially, like, if you have a founder come in, they built this, whatever, this app or program or whatever, or this network, and like maybe they only know how to do code. They don't know how to do people, like talk with people, and not people,
Very common.
well, yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like, I don't know, like, how to connect, and I don't know anything about the business side. Like, I'm just a not builder, but I have that analytical mind. For me, I know how to trade. Like, but when it comes to like selling myself and being a business, like, this is all new to me. Like, I rely on Mick to help me learn this stuff. Ask her questions all the time.
I'm just the social butterfly of the group.
Yeah,
And it helps, honestly, and that's been my biggest thing too. From the starting process to letting things like carry along, was like, you have to, as a founder, if you're building in the space, you have to delegate, and with that comes accepting that you aren't going to perfectly have, they're not going to be able to do everything perfectly how you picture it in your brain, and that's okay. You put the right person in the right position to execute on that, whether or not you're there. And so it's so good to have all these different types of people, on your team. You don't want, a bunch of yes people, all that, have the same strengths on your team. You want to have a bunch of no people that are, diversified in their skill sets and are at least willing to bring up, troubles when they see it, of course, within reason. You don't want
Yeah.
people argumentative, but
In a genuine and authentic and in the interest of the company way, right?
there's constructive criticism is what I mean
Yeah.
by that. Yes, people just generically, whatever you say, they'll just agree to, whatever the opposite of that is, you
I
just
think
want
it's
critical
a gene you're
thinkers.
born with or not. 'Cause
Yeah,
young
totally.
age, I have been are you kidding me? And why?
That's actually like one thing, shout out to our sponsor VDEX, that I really like about VDEX, because like poor Jose, every time there's a problem, I'm in his ear about, like, especially that, because I trade just Bitcoin, so when that Bitcoin chart's going down, he's gonna hear about it. But like, I'm not trying to be annoying, and I feel like sometimes like it is, but like I want to be on there, notifying that there's an issue, because like it could affect the company, right? Like, I want VDEX to succeed. I believe they have an extremely good product. Again, we're only in beta. Like I still sometimes I forget that, because it 99% of the time it works so damn well. I don't even realize I'm not using like an exchange that's been around for like 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, it's that good. It has its blips, it has its issues. Everyone does, but the community coming together, like, for example, we had an issue last week with some Bitcoin charts. Like, a bunch of community members came out, hey, there's an exploit, this is what's going on. Team got together, fixed it, and that was it, right? Like, and that's how it is. Like, it's you got to be there and kind of talk to the team, but like, instead of being offended, Jose's like, we got this, we're gonna fix everything and make it all right. And they did, like, within like a day. So that is what I really like about being on VDEX. It's just the community to come together. Everybody wants VDEX to succeed, and you really feel that when you're like in that group.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would just say Jose wants he's been a trader for so long, early hyperliquid, early lighter user. So he wants to deliver the experience he wished he had when those platforms were new and in beta, and they were just kind of like, well, sorry, like, we don't have a lot of money, so we're just not gonna, like, we have made it work. And I think in the short term that makes our path more difficult, but in the long term, community trust is really all that matters. and attention and things like that. And you won't have any of that. You don't want the kind of attention for rug pulling people, or, you know, hey, there was an error on our side and, you know, you eat the costs though. Like, that's just not acceptable. The customer service doesn't really exist in Web3. And that's something that I've been harping on a lot. It's like we just think we're immune to having to help customers because there's only a couple of us. Okay, well, that's why companies have customer service departments and call centers and X, Y, and Z, but we're not at that funding level. So it's up to the founders to step in, and it's very noticeable which ones do and don't. Joe, you looked like you had something to say about that.
No comment on customer support right now from Bowling X and some other platforms, but doesn't matter how big you are, apparently. But I think it's what you guys said is really important. Jose is a great example of a founder who's able to leave their ego at the door, and you know that's what you have to do when you're building in this space. This has nothing to, you know, whenever people are giving you feedback, you know, however critical or however, you know, angry or distraught they might be because a trade's going sour and, you know, they're not able to execute or whatever, you have to leave your ego at the door and understand this has nothing to do with you. This, you know, this person's not mad at you, like at you specifically. They are mad at the thing, you know, they want things to improve, you know, and as a team, you know, it's same thing. You have to come at everything with the understanding that, like, you know, no one's here because they want to belittle you or you know, what you've done. We're all here because we want to build a business that is just as successful as possible. And here's the feedback that we think is going to do that. And if some teammates aren't jiving or giving feedback in a certain way that's, you know, productive, then you might have to 86 them and, you know, move on to something else. But it's just part of the space. How it goes. Not everybody is going to mesh with everybody. It's just natural. It's cool. Go find some other team, you know, you might work better at. But VDEX has done an amazing job. That's why I've been, you know, really enjoying working with you guys so far and being a business developer. It's been awesome. So super stoked and love the team you all have built.
Hell yeah, man. It's no, it's been great trade on VDEX. Again, I was on weeks before and I'm off weeks. I exclusively trade on VDEX every day. And it's been great. It's been a great experience. Made some money today, which was nice. So that was a good feeling. It's good, always a good feeling when you win a trade. You're like, okay, I'm done. Like, you just walk away from the trust. Like,
that's not what I do, Mike. I'm like, oh, I'm on fire. I should do 5 more.
Yeah. Mick is like that. Mick is like,
the bags just keep getting bigger and bigger under the eyes. This is the progression of the trades.
I strive, like, I honestly strive for that because, like, I'll be like messaging Mick like something, and I'm the type of person who will like type out a sentence and then hit send, and then type out the next sentence and then hit send, and she'll be reading them and like responding. I'm like, oh no, I didn't finish my sentence. Yeah, like, you're awesome, Mick. Like, I just want to throw that at you, like, in the best way possible. You know, don't see like a backhand compliment, but like in the best way possible.
No, I think having any form of neurodivergence is like a compliment these days. You know, it means if you don't see shit wrong with the world around you and you're not trying to figure out ways to fix it, maybe there's a problem on your end. You know, I just care a lot. Like,
yeah, preach. I'm with you. I think everybody in this space is neurodivergent. I don't think anybody in crypto has been here. You know, none of our lives are normal.
Yeah, if you're gonna like sit around for like 70% dips, you got to be some sort of crazy.
Yeah, you have to like pain for sure, or something.
If you haven't round trip something, then I don't think I belong here.
We've all earned our stripes. We all deserve generational wealth. I will just say that through all the rips and dips and round trips.
Oh my god, somebody clip that.
We got into this space. Like, you just have to believe. And I am a delusional optimist, you know, and I think there's something to be said against that, right? But there's, you know, I encourage everybody to try it, because since I let go of trying to control things and outcomes and just focus on what's in my area to control, practicing kind of radical acceptance of things that are around me that I don't like, but I can choose where to focus. So I'm going to choose on areas where I can make a difference, and I'm going to put all of my attention there, because where attention goes, energy flows, and that's what will grow, right? If I'm giving attention to just problem after problem after problem, what am I doing? How am I contributing to society? Do I want to be like Paul Revere, you know, Paul Revering it every day? The sky's falling.
You rewire your brain, right?
You what?
You said you rewire your brain. If you think
100%.
negatively, your brain is trained to look for negative. Like it's very good
Yes.
at learning, right? And then if you think positively, your brain will always look for the positive, right? So that's
Yes.
how you shape your reality in the world you live in. And kind of like, talking about people that don't get along or inconstructive, you clip them out of a community. Like that's how you
Yeah.
build a community. I see it all the time. Like I have some YouTubers that I watch, and like negative comments gone. And you know what? And then you have a great environment of people chatting in there, right? Like you create what you want to see, and you just cater to it, right? Get rid of the negative people, because they don't get it. They don't get it.
Yeah.
There's something when people are upset about something, it's not that they're really upset about the thing that they think they're upset about. It triggered something in them, an insecurity or something like that, and that's the response you get. It wasn't actually about what the hell they're mad about, or what they say they're mad about.
Yeah.
It's something deeper.
That's a good point, and sort of I guess a little branch adjacent to that is something I've been very intentional recently with, and I think a lot of people, if we can all be more intentional, is like
Yes.
trying to train my algorithm. Like for like YouTube is where I consume probably the most actual content besides X. Like
Interesting.
I'm mostly creating, but like YouTube's really where I'm consuming the most, and like it's trained me. I've learned so much from YouTube, and like it impacted where I've traveled, what I've gone to and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
like really made me realize like this needs to be bi-directional. Like I can't just keep going down, keep clicking down these videos, go down the rabbit hole. I have to make sure I'm clicking intentionally on videos that I want to promote, that I want to be supportive for me, that are not, just these murder videos and like watching this, CSI case or whatever. It's like, I'm trying to be as intentional as possible with like the
Have you
different algorithms
noticed?
on social media.
Have you noticed that algorithms? I feel like it's a little weird on YouTube. Like you watch one video outside your algorithms, wow, here you go,
Yeah.
like 10 more. Like
Yeah.
it's like
Very
whoa,
reactive.
I was just curious.
Yeah. That's what they all say. It's like,
It
Yeah.
was so like I feel like it's not even just YouTube, even on like Instagram or whatever. Like you look at one, like I like food. I looked at one food thing, and like all of a sudden, every other video, food, like just cooking and baking and all that kind of stuff. My Instagram is so weird. It's like homemade baking or cooking, and then trading stuff. Like it's the total two opposites that you could never put together. And that's it. That's my Instagram. It's so weird, but I feel like it's harder to cater to your algorithm, because if you look at one thing that is outside the norm, boom, you got like 10 more of them, and then it throws everything off.
yeah, and sort of on this note, and what we were talking about earlier with affiliate marketing, like I think this will really lead into like these micro brands, or like micro influencers, or whatever term we want to call them these days. Is like anybody with a few hundred followers that actually cares about what they're saying can now turn into a very real resource, or like a company. Like you are essentially your own little company, and like
Yep.
these are
Yeah.
the most effective channels to
I'm
actually
a
be promoting things.
businessman, right? Jay-Z. He's been saying.
According to my taxes, the modern Canadian is a business. Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%.
Mhm.
Well, that's the thing.
Okay.
Like tying back
Expenses,
in,
people. Expenses are very important to save yourself in
I think
taxes, because
what,
here in Canada, it's
everyone
crazy.
looks up to celebrities, and look, what do they all have in common? They're delusional optimists. They seem so out of touch with like the everyday struggles, but I think that is an intentional choice, right? And it's training your brain to think like anything is possible. I don't have limitations except what I put on myself. And I think that's a really important, kind of lesson for new creators coming into the space. We're going to see such a rush of content creators. I see tons of my friends getting into it now, going in different niches, tarot card reading, like everybody is going to be a content creator.
Yeah.
So
We're the new TV.
Go ahead.
We're the new TV.
Yeah, 100%. Like I consider my Twitter station a TV channel, and I only post so many ads, and the rest is like fun stuff. But Joe, what would you recommend to people? What's something that really stood out on your journey to getting to where you're at with such a big following and a show, and connecting and networking with these people? How would you recommend somebody position themselves to tap into this world?
Great question. I would say just You have to trust your own intuition. Like, I know that's not like maybe a great answer. I can give you like more specifics, but like, 2.5 years ago, I was in medical school. I was getting my doctorates. Like,
Wow.
I already have my undergrads in pre-medicine, my bachelor's. I was in medical school 2.5 years, and after halfway through the program, lots of debt. I realized I was just going to be another cog in this
Mhm.
wheel that I was trying to help, people get away from. Actually, I didn't want to trap people. I wanted to free them with, out pharmaceuticals, and that's essentially just what I was getting trained to do. So, I decided then at that point I had, asked the world and the universe for some signs and got some signs, and then I just went boom, okay, I'm all in on crypto. I was already kind of crypto, and I'm like, okay, boom, I'm going all in on crypto, and that's like since then, like I had so much anxiety, but I feel better now than I ever have in like my whole life. And even like the like times like when I made that decision, like the days afterwards, like it was stressful, but it was such a better stress than like what I was dealing with
Yeah.
before because I knew I wasn't
Free.
aligned. What was
You're
that?
free.
Yeah, you're free. Exactly. With my true spirit was like just more aligned. So I guess I would just say, like trust your intuition. Like I could tell you, hit up, DM as many founders as you can on X, and like do that. That's what I did. Like, I every single week, 250 plus people I DM to show up to my shows. Like that's what I do for over a year now. That's the secret, if you want to know how to
Right?
get,
Yeah. It's
all
hard
these
work.
people.
What?
Yeah, yeah. What are they
No.
called? Me showing up and GMing for 3 hours a day, feeling like I'm wasting my life and losing brain cells, was actually building an audience and actually connecting with people somehow. So like, you just have to like see your end goal, like picture it. And I like have my end goal in my head of me just like drinking martinis on the beach with my family. And then it's just like, you have to visualize that and then like actually go and do actions and like make that
Yeah.
like, happen. So it's like all of our paths, every single person who's listening to me is going to be in a totally different position. You have totally different resources, totally different end goals. So like, I don't want to try and pigeonhole you, say, do this XYZ thing. But, if you're like feeling like you should do something, if you have that word should in your brain, like just do it. Because the one other time, and then I'll shut up, that I had like a should in my brain and I was kind of teetering it about it, was in for X, I was doing pitch shows. Instead of founders come and talk about different issues every week, it was like I'd get 40 to 60 different founders come in 4 minutes, they pitch their project. And I hated DMing 250 founders every single week, was awful. And X at this time kept limiting my account. You kept getting locked out of your account. They would say you're a bot, all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, here's what I'll do. I'll put this group chat together with all the different founders and it'll be good. I'll just like, ask them once a week. I'll remind them about the space and it'll be
Be
fine.
like water, right?
Be like, just go for it. But in my head, I'm like, I'm a nobody. I only have a few thousand followers. None of these people know me. These are all people with tens of thousands of followers, millions in, revenue, blah, blah, blah. Why the fuck would they join in this other chat, whatever. So I had this back and forth of doing it, not doing it for like days. And then I finally, of course, obviously do it. And I put in like 130 founders. And not only did everybody stay, but they were adding more founders, like more people were getting added to this. And like, it was literally the opposite of like in my brain. Like I was like,
Right.
like, why the fuck did you add me to this? Like take me, like get what, who are you? And
We're
I
our
was just
own
like,
worst
oh,
enemy.
yeah, exactly. So I'll just, just like trust your gut. If you have a should, just like do it, trust yourself, your intuition, your divine intuition, if it's aligned with your gut, your heart, your brain, your spirit, all feel, aligned, freaking go for it. And send out a million DMs, bother a bunch of people. If you get blocked, fuck it.
So I'm a big advocate. I don't know if you know Jim Rohn, very good inspirational speaker, and he talks about this a lot. He says like, if you're scared of trying, wait till they hand you the bill for not trying, because it's
Ooh.
regret. Like at the end of your life, like when you're an
Yes.
older person, like that bill that comes
Banger.
due of regret is way worse than at least trying it. Like that's kind of like my mindset. Like back in when we had the crash of 2021 into 2022, I found some mentors to watch. Jim Rohn was one of them, Jordan Peterson another. And it's like, you don't know what like Jordan Peterson says, you don't know, if you don't know what you like, just try a bunch of things until you figure it out. Just try, just do it. How do you're never gonna know unless you try. And then Jim Rohn kind of gives you the same like I love one of my favorite quotes is like, it's all risky, life is risky, having kids is risky, going out there is risky, but like, let me tell you something, a little something about life. It's you're not going to get out alive.
Mm.
Like, right? Like, so just don't do it.
Fuck yeah. Sorry, because that's my kind of, attitude, I'm just, why not? We're all gonna die. Like, are you
Yes.
kidding me? Like, you might as well try and inspire some people or like make a change. Like, the global consciousness is just so messed up right now. We were talking about earlier, we're thinking about
So
war and AI. Yeah, it's like, why are we thinking about this? Why would we not just be happy? Like, why are people sad right now? Bitcoin's at 68,000 or 70,000, whatever, when you could be so happy about buying Bitcoin at 70,000? Like, what you got all the Bitcoin you want? What are you good? Like, you're just like sitting for the rest of your life. Like, what are you upset about? Like, work, get some more,
Right.
stack some more sats or whatever
That
your
was
thing is,
the biggest
We're
lesson I
blessed.
learned from the 8 years that I've been here is it's the reverse. It's literally the opposite. You should be excited in
Yep.
bear markets because the real money is made from
Yep.
buying, when you're 60, 70% down
Yep.
to just the previous all-time high. Like,
Yeah.
like when you start allocating a capital in a bear market and you go to your bull run, you're just chilling. You're
Mhm.
stress-free. You're good. You're green the whole way, unless you're an altcoin holder this season. Sorry, guys. But
You're screwed.
yeah, bro, I got freaking rugged. I had no idea. Like
All of
altcoins.
us.
Mind you, I most of my altcoins are in profit because I got in 2022. So you're still pretty good. Some of them are break even, but I don't know, altcoin holders, man. It's rough. It was rough. I don't know where we go from here, to be honest. Like, what's the investment mindset going forward for altcoins now, right? How much PTSD are people gonna have?
I'm stoked, and my bad to jump, but what we were talking about earlier, like sort of how we're playing things, like this is the time to figure out your conviction plays. Like, I'll be honest, like I'm looking at all these businesses, but really for me, I'm just reanalyzing the top 300 in crypto. I'm seeing a lot of companies. When I first got into space, I would just go through all of the cryptos in top 100, top 200, top 200, read all their white papers, all the tokenomics, all this stuff. And, now that we're going back to this time, we've had this cleansing, and it's like time to start looking at that again. It's like, for anybody who's just joining the space, like if you don't know all the coins in the top 300, like, or 500 or whatever, like, what are you doing? Like, these might as well be meme coins to you. These might as well be totally foreign degen plays.
Okay,
you can still get
coin, Joe.
Yeah. literally, but you can still get 100x, 1000x over the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from a lot of these companies, especially, top 300, 500, they're only, like 10 million to $100 million market cap max. Like, these are multi-billion, tens of billions to potentially trillions of dollar companies, in the future.
AVAX is like the chain for me, right? They have so much institutional. I'm wearing my AVAX shirt tonight too.
Yeah,
just so much institutional adoption. The price does not reflect, right? Because a certain amount of community and FUD and whatever can drive the price at this point because the community is small, but they continue to grow and raise funds. And like at a certain point, you become inevitable. And that's when that rush comes in, when everyone realizes like, oh, there's all these institutional rails that are going to be using Avalanche as their preferred, like, bullish, right? And I think even more use cases, like, I would call them utility coins, right? Like, because Bitcoin isn't really, the utility is I buy it and I want to hold it and it makes me feel good that I have it. Like, but it's not something I'm going to go transact with, or maybe I want somebody to inscribe like I love you or something. That'd be cute. Buy a whole Bitcoin and write I love you on it and inscribe it. I think that would be adorable. But like, that's, like Bitcoin ordinals, I'm not buying those. It's a store of value. And then these other tokens are where the activity and transactions are occurring. The fees are so much lower. It's a no-brainer. So,
I think
so many to look at like that.
Totally.
I think you're right. I think when we were talking about like a digital economy, gold, Bitcoin will be the digital gold. Again, you can transact with it, like, you're leveraging the security of the network, right, and the immutability and all that kind of stuff like that. So, like, it has its value at that. But I look at altcoins like, again, like you said, like companies, businesses, right? I evaluate them the same way: user base growth, revenue growth, fees from transactions, all kind of stuff like that. Like, that is your revenue in the company, right? I'm again focusing on institutions, because institutions are going to use Ethereum, institutions are going to use, Solana, Avalanche, like, and stable coins are the big thing right now. So anybody that has stable coins and has a big stable coin economy, they're probably going to be used across the for global transactions. Like, I believe, like, you look at Bitcoin as gold, your store of value, and and like a medium of exchange will be stable coins. And anybody that's doing stable coins and then tokenizing everything, stocks are going to be tokenized. I think, like, I just had an article up here. Canada just did a pilot. The Bank of Canada did a pilot, their first tokenized bond. Mind you, they're not using crypto. You're using a private ledger, right? Hyperledger. But again, like, it's moving that way. Stocks are going to be 24/7. They're going to be tokenized, so any company that, or any crypto network that's tokenizing thing, like something like Ondo, for example, that's doing like tokenization of the real world, like, those are the things you want to pay attention to. So if you're seeing
Kraken's
adoption,
in the Federal Reserve now.
yes,
Literally connected to the source of all
they can
money.
directly have access to the banks now. Kraken, crypto.com is going to be doing that shortly too. Crypto.com applied, I believe, to be their like a banking license, basically. So they're doing the same thing. Like, it's all moving that way. And it's gonna be, and I said this for many years, because, like, I think of incentives. Like, I always come back to, like, everything comes back to incentives. The whole idea with crypto was like, fix the incentives, fix the world. And that's where Bitcoin comes in, because there's, the incentives are lined up in Bitcoin. And when it comes to the banks, everyone's getting in, everyone's gonna, it's gonna take a while for them to get educated, because these big companies, these big banks, they move slow. Same with governments. But once they get in, now they're incentivized to sell to retail. That's where retail, in my opinion, comes back in a big way. Is once everybody's educated and they got all their stuff and they're ready to go, they have to sell to the customers. You're going to see the commercials on TV again. You're going to see all that stuff come back. So that's where I think you're going to see that mass adoption. That's my S curve theory of adoption, is when everybody gets in. They're just selling it. Like, crypto's just become a way of life now. Like, it's going to be on every commercial everywhere.
And that should signal it, right? Like, the government is adopting crypto. It's not going anywhere. They throw money after bad bets all the time. So even if crypto turns out to be not great, they'll be like, sunk cost fallacy. We have to save it now or we'll look like idiots. And they will pump money into our ecosystem so that we survive. And that's just, we're too big to fail at this point, I guess.
You're kind of seeing the same thing. I remember when the internet was new, and then they had like online gambling and all the kind of the like degen things, kind of like, were used, the internet was used for first, and then it became for everything else. And you kind of see like prediction markets and gambling and all this kind of stuff on crypto. But like, yeah, like, people are like, oh, it's all degenerate stuff, but like, transaction fees, transaction speed, like, you're seeing the use case of the network, like, even like Pump.Fund, everybody like shit on it, but I'm like, in my mind, I was like, look how many transactions Solana was able to handle. What was their big gripe in 2021?
Exactly.
Shutting down the blockchain. Like, that can't happen anymore. And I'm like, man, it's Pump.Fund, it sucked, but like, they were able to handle a crap load. That was a takeaway for me. That was a stress test of Solana, in my opinion.
They actually just proved their thesis, because that's what Anatoly Yakovenko has been saying for a long time, is they want to put the NASDAQ on Solana. Like, they'll tokenize the entire thing. So like, it was actually very much like a stress test of the network and a proof, like a live proof. Like, it's hard to do. Like, you can test all these blockchains, in like a lab setting, like, if you will, is essentially what's going on. But to actually do them in the real world and have it on the chain is a totally different thing. So yeah, for Pump Fund, and it was awful, because anybody who was in that space, no token lasted more than 24 hours. But like, if you're, a network dev, you're like, oh my God, this is actually like holding up, and we didn't go down, 10 times like we did, just a few years ago. Everybody's making fun of us. So even Sui went down, and random side note, but any of these chains can do this. It definitely happens, especially, they're not as decentralized as we like to think. There's many ways of measuring decentralization. You can even, what was that?
It's a spectrum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, even
By
Bitcoin.
the way, I'm a
and
Sui
Ethereum.
hater. So
What was that?
I'm a Sui hater.
Oh, I got a Sui hater in the building.
Yeah. It has more to do with personalities than products.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, crypto's got a lot of big ones in it. So yeah, fair enough.
Well, amazing. I know we are keeping you up super late. We're going to get ready to wrap up here. Mike's going to do some charts, I'm sure, in a little bit, but I want to get some final thoughts from you, Joe, to the audience. Just talk to the audience about what you want to talk to them about, and then we'll let you go. And Mike can do some squiggly lines on the chart that I pretend to think make sense.
We're gonna do a replay of the day. It'll be fun.
Yeah,
There we
no, I do
go.
want to see that.
You can go ahead, Picasso on the chart. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. It's all about connections in the space. It's, you know, almost cliche how much we say it, but your network is your net worth, because it's so freaking true. And if you guys are watching this, just keep hanging on, you know, be thankful if you can, be grateful that we have this opportunity to buy at these, you know, prices. I know it's hard, you know, not everybody has the capital to be able to buy, but do what you can with what you got and just hang on. And, you know, less stress, you know, all this is bullshit at the end of the day. You know, your health, your family, you know, that's what really matters at the end of the day, is all that stuff. Absolutely. And everything else is just kind of, you know,
bear markets are for building and personal growth. You have time now to hit that YouTube up, learn stuff, read some books, get educated, and get ready for the next.
I thought you were gonna say go to the gym. I was like, hard pass.
That's what I gotta do. And last thing, if you guys are listening to this, I don't know what platform you're on. I don't know how it works if you're on Facebook, but like, subscribe, you know, comment, you know, all that stuff. Definitely help blow this up, get some more high quality people in here, because what you guys do is really cool and definitely needed. So thank you guys so much.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Coming on, Joe.
Hell yeah. Catch you guys soon.
All right, later, dude.
Chat soon.
All right, let's take a look at some charts.
I love his energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Feed off it, right?
Yeah, and he's just authentic in himself. Like, I don't know, I vibe on a lot of levels with I can tell we read a lot of the same literature.
That's why it's so important to, again, your environment is so important, right? Like, I feel like the energy of the stream was just so much better because of his energy, right? And we all kind of
100%. It's like frequencies, and it's hard to see it when you're in it, like in a negative frequency, or people who just are like energy vampires, right? Or just count on everyone else to do the work, or to do, you know, and it's such a difference when you find somebody who has like found their passion and their bliss in life, and they are going after it. They're the happiest people in the world. And also the people who accept failure the easiest, because they know they'll just try again.
That's why I've liked crypto so much, because it's, you know, again, making money in crypto is great, and investing in it's, you know, whatever, the fastest horse in the race, blah, 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 blah. But honestly, it's the people, because everyone here is building. Everyone's got the entrepreneurial spirit. Everyone's got that high energy and hope for the future. Like, that's what, like, you know, the money's great, but what kept me here and really wanted me to get involved in communities and just engaging with people in the space is that vibe. And it's made me a better person. It's made me think differently, made me a happier person because of that. Even meeting you, that book you recommended, The Alchemist, like, you know, I was thinking about, like, when he was talking about, like, you know, when you really want something, the whole universe conspires to get you that, right? And it's like that, when he said that, it's like the first thing that popped in my head. It was that, you know, that quote from that book.
Yeah, I love that.
All right,
talk charts to me,
bro. Today was it was wild, man. It was some serious volatility. So we're gonna go back. I want to tell you,
it's like a physical replication of my brain waves, like my brain fluctuations.
Hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay. Let me go back to my 15-minute charts.
Not bad little Tuesday though, huh?
What's going on with the replay? Hold on. The replay, turn this off. Leave. I think, yeah, they gave me the wrong replay. All right. So I this is a new feature I just learned how to do. Start new. Okay.
I've never seen it before.
So
is this on VDEX?
No, that's not trading. You probably do it on VDEX. I'll check.
Thank God. I was like, I'll be fired if I don't even know.
Let's see. Can you do it on VDEX? No, you can't do replay on VDEX. Okay. Not yet. There we go. So this is the falling wedge I entered this morning. And as you can see, price action was, hold on. No, let me go a little faster, half speed. So as you can see, price started to move, right? We had our candles move. I was in profit. It was great. It was beautiful. Boom, market opened. Like, what the hell happened like this morning? It was absolutely
Seriously, crypto's open
insane.
24/7. Why do we care about the market open?
So I've been doing that 15-minute strategy, right? So
Yep.
like this was just absolutely insane today. Like, I'm just gonna pause it here.
Textbook.
I was in nice profit, and I swear to God, market open, and we just boom, biggest 15-minute candle I've seen in a while. And we continued down. We came down. We went from 70,900 down to 69,157. So we went down like basically $1,000 in minutes, which is crazy. So turn off replay, leave.
I don't know. That doesn't even phase me anymore, Mike.
Right.
Only 1,000.
So I was up here. We came down here. See this wick right here? That's where I made the $300, just from the bottom to the wick, like in and out within a minute. And then as we kept going up, I closed this trade in a small loss. So we were good. And then I got another trade. I believe I got this short here. I believe we got this a piece of this short here, and that was it. I was done for the day. And then like I went to work, and it came up here. If I held this trade, this would have been like
Yeah.
a $4,000 payday today, but I did not have the cojones to do that.
Yeah. I don't
Too
blame
much
you.
position size. I didn't want to blow my Vanguard accounts. So
Yeah.
like I'm still in it. I'm still doing very, very well. Pulled some profits out. Gonna probably pull some profits out next week. Like we're doing okay. We're cruising now on the Vanguard account. It was a
Yeah, I
rough
saw
start.
you're approved for the 5-to-1 deposit matching. I guess you were auto approved because they already knew you were good.
It was the first 2 weeks was rough. Like I lost like almost every trade I took. I was just really bad, but like we got our mojo back. We got a rhythm where the account's profitable. Where I think let me look at my portfolio here. I think my portfolio is $543 in profit.
Nice.
We're up 218 just today alone. So half of that's just today. So we're doing all right. We got a little bit of a rhythm. I'm trying new strategies. I'm actually doing a master class tomorrow before my other stream of another trading strategy I want to try. So
Amazing.
this is where I learn. I like, but my bear markets are where I can just ignore because there's too much hype and you don't have to jump from this to this. Like I can take my time and actually grow and learn. And
Yeah.
I'm playing with AI now. I'm gonna try and I'm actually gonna try and make a trading indicator. I'm gonna call it the Shark Daddy indicator. So tune in for that. I'm gonna because I was thinking about today. VDEX doesn't have the 5-minute chart yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a 5-minute indicator with my strategy, and then you should be able to find it on VDEX and kind of trade the 5-minute, but not with the 5-minute, right? So
amazing.
So yeah, I just learned that you can make trading indicators with, I think it's called Pine Script. So I'm gonna use Claude this weekend and see how we can do this.
That's so crazy. And you're teaching people. I think that's the important thing. I'm a big fan of learning out loud. Yesterday, I clicked a link that someone had reported my content. I believed it because my content gets reported so much just by people, weaponized reporting of Twitter. So I clicked it. I was just like, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I went through the steps to submit a complaint, and just like Twitter, it always takes you out of the mobile app and into another window, and then you have to log in. So I sent them my authorization key basically when I was thinking I was logging in to file the report. So they got in there. I was quickly able to change the password. Like, thank goodness I was on.
Yeah.
But they were still in my account. So finally figured out. Vo messaged me and she was like, check your apps. And so I did, and that's when I found that Bags app was in there. I had a second Zeet, and then there was a couple other ones that I just didn't recognize, so I deleted those. But the one in question I could not delete, so I had to blow up Nikita.
I saw that. That was the like an app that was accessing and you couldn't remove, right? Yeah.
And they deleted my post of trying to warn people that there was somebody in my account and that I didn't have full control. They deleted that every time I posted it. I had a lot of impressions too. They literally cost me some of my X payout this week. So thanks a lot, scammers.
Man, that's
Um,
crazy. I
but
have a
yeah,
friend that
so,
still
and
has
then
her account locked out since November.
they posted the contract address for VDEX, a fake VDEX token. So literally, I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of bullish for VDEX, the fact that we're being targeted for scam coins, because I haven't seen anybody get a fake launch token in a while. It's been a while since that the kind of playbook has been ran. And they're finding new and innovative ways to trick people, and
Yeah.
when the scammers start getting motivated, that's bullish to me, because there's not nearly as much scammer activity when things are quiet
Again, it's
or
incentive,
things
right?
aren't interesting.
Comes back to incentive. They believe it's valuable. For them to put the effort into, trying to scam it, then
Yeah.
there's some value there, right?
Copy trade the scammers. That's
Yeah.
my new
There you go.
master
That's
class in
it.
trading.
That's how you follow attention. Where the scammer's
Yeah.
going.
Well, no, and I literally study what scammers do, because it's marketing, right? They are marketing you an imaginary product. They're playing on certain emotions and impulses and whatever to get you to make a stupid decision.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get people to make a good decision. So it's just like, use your powers for good. Like all
Yeah.
those scammers, I'm like, if you just put your effort and time and energy into bettering the world, man, you'd
I
probably be
know.
10 times richer. You wouldn't live in fear. You wouldn't have anxiety. You wouldn't, XYZ. But for some reason, people choose evil. And it's just beyond me. Like, I
Yeah.
think it is a good versus evil battle sometimes,
It definitely is, right? It's different personalities clashing, right? But when it comes to VDAX and their token, for anybody that's watching, you won't hear it on Twitter. You're probably going to see it from the VDAX community. You got to get in that Discord, and part of the VDAX community on Telegram. It'll probably be announced in official channels and not off a random
Not
tweet.
me.
Yeah, it's
I'll
not
be
gonna,
quote tweeting it.
Yeah,
You'll see a quote tweet.
it'll come from the official VDEX channel. So
100%.
yeah. So not yet.
Not yet. Not yetty, but we're getting closer.
That's it.
Every
Are you
passing
guys still thinking this year? I'm not going to give you quarter.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not going to hold you to quarter one, but this year is
Yeah.
the play. There we go.
Yeah.
Love it. Honestly, the more time that I have to accumulate V points, like I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah.
I've been like, I think that Vanguard account, because I've been trading with some big position sizes. Like
Yeah.
I got like 17,000 points last week. I got almost a million experience points this week to put in. So like
Let's
I'm cruising,
go.
man. Like I'm hoping for a nice
Yeah.
a nice little payday.
Full-time Web3
Yeah.
payday.
I also need to show the Canadian government that I'm making income at some point. Like it's been a couple of years, so I need to make some income from this content creation thing that I'm
They
doing.
won't believe you.
Like, why do you have like $30,000 of expenses, but you haven't made any money yet? Like,
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, businesses can report losses for like 2 years, Mike, but I think that's it.
there's no law that tells you have to be a good business owner. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
I just make enough to keep us going, literally.
it's one of those things. Content creation, I think it's like it does take a while to build up to be able to start making income from it.
Yeah.
At least like I made some money last year, but nothing that's worth like getting taxed over. Like I got paid over to go to conferences, stuff like that, but like that's nothing in the grand scheme of things, the taxes.
100%.
Speaking of charts, okay, so I got one trade from my trading group that posted. I was gonna enter, but I was a little too late to the trade. And the risk versus reward for me is a little not good enough. It's like 2-1. I like 3-1. It was the 1 minute, the 1 minute, the 1 hour try here, touching the 21 above the 200-day moving average. We had the cross. So the idea is to cross and we come back to the 21. So we're back and we're touching it now. So the idea would be to have a bounce off that 21 in a couple hours. We have the low stochastics curving up and the RSI. MACD starting to flip bullish. So right now we're kind of stuck at this white line. This is a point of control. So if we see the VPVR, this is the volume range profile. So there's a lot of volume in this area right here. And you can probably see like multiple touch points right here. And we go back, you'll see this is kind of where we got stuck a couple times. So we need to get past this point of control And then once we do, there'll be like there's a little gap here. So we can gap up to 73.54. If we get past here, then it'll be a magnet to 78.07 and then so on and so forth, right? Work our way back up. Or if we fail here, there's a pretty big gap here, and you're looking at 69,198 again, which lines up to that 200-day moving average. So we can even continue coming down, tagging off it like we did here. We bounced off it and I'm popping off. So could be a trade if you're looking at a trade. Could be a little bit of like a fallen wedge here on the 1 hour. Let's see, make it like that. So we have a little bit of a falling wedge. Maybe the target is up here, maybe somewhere around 72. Yeah, 72.6 could be your target. So I'm not going to enter this trade. I don't like sleeping on trades lately. Not in
Yeah.
this market. Like in a bull market where things are hot,
When
I'm
there's
more
not a
likely
war
to
going on in the background.
yeah, and not to mention you get that changeover from different markets, right? From the New York to the China, to you're going to Asia now.
Yeah.
Like if we were, I don't know, today was all over the place, so I don't know what the hell Asia is going to do tonight. Because we were up and we were down. Usually, if you're up,
Yeah.
like China will be kind of, or like Asia will kind of be down, and then maybe London will go back up again. I don't know. So
Do you
let's see
still
here.
think Bitcoin's going to go super low, or are we like in recovery mode now? Because I've heard 45 and 49 and 55 over and over and over again from different people I respect in the space. What do you think?
So just for this trade, that's a 3.27 risk reward ratio. If you go to 72.5, stop loss below 200, that would be your trade. And what do I think about Bitcoin going lower? Yeah, I think it's going to go lower. Like overall, like if we zoom out and we're talking about the the bigger time frames, like the bigger trend, still down,
Yeah,
right?
that's fair.
Like so here's the 5-day chart, right? The 5-day chart's be below the 200-day moving average. I would say that what we're doing here is we've come down, we're bearishly retesting it to make a bear flag, and we're just going to come down again. Right? So each one of these candles is 5 days. So I would say this is a clear bear flag, right?
Yeah.
And we're going that, or it could be a rising wedge. Again, this is like you're talking about possibilities and how the way to think. Like I do that with trading. Like anything's possible. I'm just because I make a pattern doesn't mean it's gonna happen. But I'm
Yep.
open to every like so many different possibilities can happen. The same two truths can be true at the same time. You know what I mean? So yes, this could be a rising wedge, or sorry, an ascending triangle, and we pop off. But we came into this ascending triangle from a downtrend, and for me, I'm more likely to say down. But again, we
Okay.
do have low stochastic curving up, so this could trend up a little bit. Like we can make like a rising channel, a rising wedge like that. Slowly trickle back up, and then and initially just get rejected by the 200-day moving average.
Mm-hmm. Seems
But,
likely.
but we'll have to see. Like that's the 5-day. If we go back to the daily, looked pretty nice. Like the daily, we were down and then we were kind of rounding. Like I like
Yeah.
rounding. So we could come up. Like it's very possible that we come up a little bit, but like it's just gonna be like a macro lower high. So if we really zoom out and you go to the weekly, for example, like we can come up to like 86, we can come up to 90, 95, and it's still a lower high.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so I don't see that happening unless we have something like shoulder, head, shoulder, inverted head and shoulders, and then back to new all-time. I just don't see it happening. I don't
Yeah.
see new all-time highs in 2026. Obviously if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I really don't see that happening. I see
There's
it's
no
just
consequences for being wrong, Mike. This is not financial advice.
yeah, absolutely, it's definitely not financial advice. But it would have to do something that's never done before for that to happen. So I'm going with history on this, and mind you,
Makes
we
sense.
don't have to lose the 200-day moving average. If we look, I'll go to my other chart here, because the perpetual chart doesn't show like the longer trend. So if you look at 2017, 2018, we
Mhm.
bounced off the weekly 200-day moving average. We didn't actually lose it until COVID. We lost it during COVID, but that was a quick, wick down and right back up, right? So we could just kind of hang out around here for a while and then come back up. Like this could be I'm entertaining the idea that this bear market could be shorter because of the institutional adoption and all that. So maybe again, I still
Yeah.
think tail end of 2026 because we're gonna move into spring. Like I think April 1st is Q2 starts. Maybe we have like March and April look nice, but in my opinion, summer is gonna be garbage because everybody goes on vacation. So even in bull markets, like summers are kind of like they have what's called the summer lull. So
Yep.
I don't anticipate it to be very good, and then come down into the fall, and then maybe you find that second bottom, right? And we could
November
come up.
bump.
Well, yeah, like you could probably come up and be a little, come off this 200-day moving average, and then in the fall come back and revisit it, and and that's where we lose the weekly 200. Like we can start going up from here, and everyone's gonna say we're back, we're back, we're back. But yeah, I don't think that's the case. Especially like this war could get worse. Like there's so many
Yep.
variables, but you need markets to take a break. Markets have to take a break at some point because that's where money made. Like all investors want the prices to go down so they can reinvest the profits that they took, right? So it's like
Yep.
a self-fulfilling prophecy, you know what I mean? Because everyone's like, okay, I think it's enough, like, and then they start selling because they can take some chips off the table, and then so does the other guy. He's like, okay, this is it, it's over, and then he sells, and then it just cascades from there, right? So
Yeah.
and that's what like all a chart is the mapping of human emotion,
Yeah, no,
right?
that's so fair. Like like Joe was talking about the collective consciousness, or what does the
Yeah.
collective think about Bitcoin right now? And it's a sampling of what people think, right? Not everybody participates in the market, but for those who do participate, it's a sampling of
Mhm.
how the overall market is feeling.
If for every green candle there's somebody that thought the asset was undervalued, for every red candle everybody there's a person that thought the asset was overvalued, right? And
Yep.
that's how it goes. I love how you said like who partake in the markets. Like it's like when you're talking about like who smokes weed, do you partake?
You partake. Well, crypto is a drug, so it's
Fuck
an
yeah.
apt metaphor.
Like if you're looking for dopamine spikes and crashes, crypto's your way to
Try
go,
crypto.
especially trading.
Yeah. I think that's why I love it, right? Like I think, and maybe that's why so many of us are like a little neurodivergent in our own happy ways. But like we need constant stimulation, and crypto provides that for better or worse. I can exercise the negative emotions that I have trading crypto and not have to like project them onto the world, right? Like I don't know. For me it's a release. I enjoy the markets. I don't mind losing money. I don't think money is like really real, right? We
Mhm.
assign value to it. We need it to survive. Like objectively money is real and important, but the essence of money, that's not what it is. And I think you can attract money through many different ways, and it doesn't have to be like aggressively, pounding the pavement
There's
or
so
taking
much
from
money out
others
there.
or
Yeah.
whatever, right? It's just there is an abundance of money. You just have to figure out how to your path there.
I think it's people just you're right. Like there's so much money. There's so much money for everybody to eat. It's just I think people that maybe
Or
scam or do crime are people that can't figure out how to provide value
I
to
hate
the
crime
market.
committers.
Yeah, right.
The worst.
So and yeah, and money is all money really is just a representation of time and energy, right? It's your time and energy, and that's why we exchange currencies because it's a unit of your energy that you expended to and that's why Bitcoin is so good because you're storing your energy and keeping it and not losing its value, the energy's value over time, right? Like that's why it's why we have stores of values like gold or
Yep.
Bitcoin, right?
Very
But
true.
this is where you dollar cost. Honestly, like I'm dollar cost averaging. I don't know where the bottom is. Nobody does. If anybody tells you they do, unfollow them immediately, because nobody knows. But I dollar cost average because if you think about it, if we just go from here to just the previous all-time high, 126, that's an 80% return. Like that's still better than any like investment you'll ever get. like better
100%.
than the S&P. Like there is no asset that gives you an 80% return, right?
You're right.
So like in hindsight, like it's still very, very good. So like people will get too blinded by these 200x's, these 1000x's. Yes, are they possible in the space? Yes, absolutely. But that's the exception, not the norm. So we should be thinking like, come back to earth a little bit. And if especially if you're seriously trying to
I don't
create
want to come down.
wealth.
I don't want to come back.
Hey, you want to fuck around with like those 1000x's, put some money that you're, as long as you're okay with losing it, right? But like if it's money that you really want to save for the future, like you want to claw yourself out of poverty, you want to claw yourself out of like your 9 to 5, which I'm doing. I'm investing my way to freedom.
I thought you were going to say
And
Claude when you said claw.
yeah,
Everything
Claude.
reminds me of him.
I know. Absolutely. So like if you're really trying to build wealth, like you got to take it seriously. And in trading too, like you want to be a good trader, you gotta be disciplined. You gotta find a rule set that works for you and follow those rules. That's like today. Like I made my money, I'm done.
It's true.
Right. And like if you really want to be serious with it, if you actually want this to be like, a job like that you can do in the future and work from home and be a trader, and like that's where you make your money, like you
It's gonna be
have to
the only
put the
job left.
time in it. You gotta fuck up, you gotta lose some money, and you gotta get used to it. Because
Yeah.
and I'll be honest with you, now that I'm trading with bigger position sizes, I'm getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
because
It's
I've
different. Your capacity for risk has to
yeah.
continually
But
get
you know
higher.
what? Because I've been uncomfortable, I've made more money than I've ever made trading,
Yeah.
because I'm just getting used to being
Well, you spent
uncomfortable.
years refining your skills,
Well, it's
right?
also like, again, I came from a middle class family, two poor farmers, and like it's hard to retrain yourself. Like, when you're the middle class, the language of the middle class is to hold on to money. Like, I need it, right?
Yep.
Whereas like now I'm trying to, like, I'm still learning. Like I'm not fully there yet, but like now I'm okay. Like I'll be in a trade. Like when I start trading, losing $50 when I had a $300 portfolio, like
Hmm.
that's a lot. Like I was trading like 10%, like $10, like that was all I could lose. Now
Yeah.
like I'm trading where my stop loss is $50 all the time, and I'm like, I'm okay. I don't feel bad about losing $50 at all anymore. But that means like every trade I win now is minimum $100,
Yeah. Sorry,
right?
I'm sending Vanguard credits in the backgrounds.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just that's the mindset of the progression of trading. Like you have to get to that point, like, and it's like you can't be attached to the money. You have to let it go.
Yeah.
And like from what I've learned from my experience, from all the training that I've done, it's like you're gonna have bad days, but just stick with it, because every time I've stuck with it, and like there's days where I want to quit, like a lot of days where like
Yeah.
especially when VDEX had its problems, or I had those 2 weeks of like just lost streaks, I was so frustrated. But you calm down, take a break from the chart, you come back, and then I had my best week right after. I'll have a really good day right after.
Yep.
It's just that
Well, how many
consistency
times do you want to quit your job?
every fucking day.
All the time. Like jobs don't go perfect either. Like choose your hard. Everything
Okay.
in life is hard. Do you want a life building things for other people, or do you want to find a way to become self-sustainable and be free? Like we were talking about with Joe earlier, this is absolute freedom. We can choose and
Yeah.
pick and partner with who we want and build with who we want, and we accept some risk. But if I take a job, I accept risk that my boss is going to be like, I mean, I have a job right now and I feel very comfortable, but I have lots of options at all times because of the work I've put in. If
Yeah.
I'm just in web 2 working at, a bank or some industry that's slimming down right now, and I get cut, and then I try to go find another job in my niche, it's probably happening at every other business in my niche. And so I'm screwed, right? So I think there's less risk in learning to run your own business and
Mhm.
to monetize yourself than there is in being
You're
subject to the whims of
mhm.
the wider employment markets and specific employers and personalities.
You're absolutely right, especially with AI. It's the rise of the entrepreneur, because now you don't need a whole
Yes.
team, right? Um, See, like I like how we have this dynamic, because you've done that. You're full time. You're doing in crypto and whatnot. I'm still 9 to 5, and in my mindset, like I've come to terms with the fact that, like, I'm gonna work for a couple more years to to really invest aggressively. I'm blessed that like me and my wife make pretty good money, that I have a lot of
Hmm.
discretionary income to be able to invest. And the trade-off was like, yeah, it sucks, like I'm not, I don't really like going into work, like I'd rather be at home with my family and all that, but the more money I'm able to invest, the faster I get to my goal. So I've like it's like that sacrifice. I'm making that sacrifice for the next 4 years because like I'm going heavy in the crypto. It's done really well for me in the 4 years prior.
Hmm.
So like
And if crypto goes to zero, probably the whole world has gone to zero.
yeah, to be honest, if I don't get to where I want to be in 4 years, I'm making a change regardless, because
Hmm.
like I'm at that point where I'm just like I'm done. Like I'm
Yeah.
done with like working for somebody else. I honestly like when you start trading, like I start thinking about, like, for example, today I made what I would have made in a day
Yeah.
at work. And I'm thinking to myself, like, even if I just started my own automotive business, like, just going to people's houses and fixing cars, you know,
Dude.
say for example, I make $400 a day, like, what's that, 2 3 customers? I can do that. If I go door to door and I knock on 1,000 doors and I get 1% of that
Yeah.
1,000 people, like, when you start breaking it down like that, it's like, that's not that hard, right? Like
It's
it's just a
it's
numbers
not.
game.
It's the fear of flying, or the fear of, it's just a fear that fear is not here to, like, we don't live in survival mode anymore. We're
It's
not
it's
out.
also a knowledge gap too, because people
Yeah.
fear for like the risk, but like fear is really like the emotion of fear is the fear of the unknown. You don't know. That's the whole, not in your comfort zone. But when you have knowledge, you don't fear that unknown, because now you know. Like, for example, when I started learning about taxes and how expenses, depreciation, how it's really beneficial to have a side gig or to own a business, because like you get a really good tax credits via expenses, and when you start to rethink the way you do things in a tax strategy way, you don't pay taxes anymore. You get actually credits back. Like I just did my taxes, I'm getting money back, and I did very well with crypto, but because I have
Yeah.
expenses, because I've depreciate, because of all those kind of things. And now you start to realize that it actually makes more sense for you to be an entrepreneur than to work 9 to 5, right? Like, and you can still work 9 to 5. Like, if some people just have that comfort, people just want
Yeah.
to be in 9 to 5. Some people may like their job, right? And that's a possibility. Maybe someone are in a job that they're passionate about, and that's
Yeah.
cool. But having that little side gig just to be able to mitigate some taxes helps a lot, because
Yeah.
like taxes is like like it slows you down in your end goal of creating wealth. So for example, we have something called an RRSP here. um Instead of paying the government taxes, like I owed a certain amount, but I invest a certain amount, and that way now I don't have to pay any taxes. I can't take that money out. It's like a 401k for you guys. But the difference is, like, I'm paying myself in the future, but I'm
Yeah.
paying myself instead of just paying the government, right?
Yeah. I love it.
So that's the key. So because I'm going to be making a course of like wealth mastery, like how to create wealth, how to like this is my mind and where my mindset goes. I love this kind of talk. So
Yeah.
um once I figure out AI,
Once I
we'll
figure out how to get rich.
yeah, we're on the way. We're on the way.
Yeah.
I believe next bull cycle, if Bitcoin sees a new all-time high, I will probably be there. I'll probably be
Quite
financially
well.
free. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm building that way. It's like Joe said, you have that vision. And you envision what your life is going to be and what you want, and every day you wake up and you go
Go
towards that, like
towards
you
the goal.
align your life to get to that goal.
Yeah.
And I've studied wealthy people, like I've read a lot of books from wealthy people that have done it already. And 90% of millionaires invested discretionary income, and that's how they become millionaires. It's just
Dang.
investing, right? You don't save your way to millionaire, you invest.
Ooh, that's a banger. I'm gonna clip that for sure, because I think that's just the most juicy stat to get people to, like, you don't have a chance unless you take risk. And
Yeah.
everyone's always trying to less cut risk, cut risk, cut risk, and it keeps you stuck in place, more than
Outside your
anything.
comfort zone is growth.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that is all the time I think we have for tonight. It is 10:40.
Honestly, great show.
Really
I just love the conversation today. Like,
Yeah.
really feeling it. He got
I
me
feel good
hyped,
we
man. That
showed
energy level is just, I just kept going. I'm gonna go and like, I don't know, like do a backflip or something and break my back.
I'm gonna go pass out because sometimes it's like
Woo! I didn't even have coffee today.
you what?
I
Yo,
didn't
you
have coffee.
didn't?
Well, sorry,
like
Malik. Malik
3
wanted
of
us to
these.
bring us up, and I knew we were about to wrap. Sorry. Next time, Malik, we'll have to bring you up, brother.
Oh yeah, dude. Sorry, I'm so beat. I'll come on your stream or show tomorrow. We can come crash your party.
I will also have a we'll be in talks. We'll see if we can get you on Trade Daddies on Wednesday nights.
Yes, he would be good for that. I think that's a really good idea.
Absolutely.
Amazing. Well, good show. Thanks as always, Mike. You're an amazing host. This is the best show in crypto Twitter, in my humble personal opinion, completely unbiased, of course.
No, not at all.
So thank you. Thank you also, audience, for tuning in, and we will see you.
Yo, shout out to the LinkedIn crowd coming up in chat.
I know, right? That was weird.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how many views it gets on LinkedIn this time. I'm always like curious how many my Facebook, sometimes I'll get a couple hundred and sometimes I get 10. It's like, it depends on when I post it. Like their algo is different and I don't pay attention to the algo on, I don't care. I'm just cross posting and, picking up some viewers where I can for us. But yeah.
Well, thank you everybody for coming on. Next week, I believe we have Melina you're talking about, right? So we're gonna have a banger guest next week. Melina's awesome, a fellow Canadian. And
good energy.
Yeah, make sure you guys tune in for that one. That's definitely gonna be a not want to miss. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Adoption Pod. Thanks guys for watching. See you later.
Bye.
Turn it up one more time. You already know what it is. Yeah. Yo, we back at the end. Yeah, that's wild. And the episode down, added to the file. From the stories to the laughs to the real talk too. You pulled up, press play, let us ride with you. Woo. Crypto combos, guests from everywhere. Big ideas, real voices in the air. If you made it this far, then you already know. We're building for the future, watch adoption grow. Let's go! This is Adoption Pod. Yeah. Thanks for watching, y'all. Thank you. Hit play, hit like, hit share. Click. We'll be right back, right there. Adoption Pod. Yeah, we love this squad. We do. To the next low drop. Next one. Keep the fam love running non-stop. Adoption Pod. Shout out the parents, the kids, the crew. The ones in the system, yeah, we see you too. Every voice, every journey, every I got through. You the reason that we do what we do. From the first time listeners to the day one strong. If you learn one thing, then we did our job. Mass adoption, one combo at a time. Tapping next week, yeah, you know the vibe. This is Adoption Pod. Yeah. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hit play, hit like, hit share. Don't forget, we'll be right back, right there. Adoption Pod. Let's go. Yeah, we love this squad. Family to the next couple drops. Keep the fam love running non-stop. From your couch, from your car, late night scroll. If you laughed, if you learned, and we hit that goal. Drop a comment, a story that you wanna explore. We'll be back next week with a little bit more. Let's go. This is Adoption Pod. Thanks for watching, y'all. Hit play, hit like, hit share. Run it up. We'll be right back, right there. Adoption Pod. Yeah, we love this squad. To the next couple drops. Next week, keep the fam love running non-stop. Adoption. Adoption. Yeah. See you next episode.